Hello everyone, I'm your digital host, Tatyana White. Welcome back to another episode of the 48 Recap, the one-stop shop to catch up on some of the top news stories of the week, including an update on a suspect arrested for a kidnapping and double murder, a deadly shooting in Marshall County, an update on a crash that killed a Huntsville Public Works employee, scam alert for GoFundMe's, and the 2026 Hydrofest has been canceled. I hope you all are having a wonderful weekend. So far, let's get into this weekend's recap. One of the top news stories this week was the arrest of a kidnapping and double murder suspect. A statewide Amber Alert for a child kidnapped was issued on Thursday after a 4-year-old was taken by his father, Aaron Williams, after allegedly killing his wife and stepdaughter in Auburn. The Auburn Police Department said the missing child was found safe at around 7:15 a.m. on Friday. The two were found in Ardmore, Tennessee. Williams has a lot of ties to our area and was even spotted in a local hotel earlier this week. 48's Noah Cowell has more on this developing story.
Aaron Williams is being held right here behind me in the Giles County Jail, where he was recently questioned by authorities. Now, I spent the day digging into Williams' past, where I found that he has a lot of connections to Huntsville and Madison County, but they aren't very good ones. Aaron Williams' journey after leaving Auburn took him to the Economy Inn in Huntsville on Tuesday, according to the motel. And Giles County Sheriff's Department says Williams was found with his son this morning at Roadway Inn in Ardmore by the FBI, TBI, and U.S. Marshals.
Everyone I spoke to last night and this morning, the priority was the child safety. The FBI and the Marshal Service did an outstanding job. They effected the arrest professionally and safely, and the child was recovered without injury. So that's the goal.
Sheriff Joe Purvis says they're fortunate no one else was hurt, especially because according to records, Williams is at least a 3-time convicted felon. This mugshot you see here was taken back in 2013 when Williams was charged with attempted murder in Huntsville. And in 2017, he was indicted for shooting into an occupied building. Madison County DA's office says he was then convicted on felony DUI and gun offenses in 2021 and sentenced to 5 years in prison. But he was released 2 years early on probation.
I mean, obviously, in a perfect world, we would punish everybody for everything that they were going to do. But in the real world, we can only punish you for the things that you have done. We take crime very seriously here. We gave him straight to prison the last time he was in front of us. That's all we can do.
Sheriff Purvis told me that Williams is a very dangerous man and the world is much safer now that he's in jail. He also said that Williams will remain in the Giles County Jail until he's extradited to Alabama. Reporting in Giles County, Noah Cowell, 48 News, on your side.
In a story you will only see here on 48 News, Marshall County Sheriff's Office officials said they have a person of interest in custody connected to a deadly shooting on Brothers Road in the Asbury community Tuesday morning. 48's Callie Neese sat down exclusively with the victim's family as they shared more about their beloved family member.
I met with the family of 69-year-old Jerry Anderson, who the Marshall County coroner says was shot and killed in his home on Brothers Road. His family tells me that they were shocked when they got the call. His sister even saying that she called him just the day before to wish him a happy birthday.
Just so humble and so kind. And we can't wrap our brain around this.
Anderson's aunt, Sheila Banks, told me that she got the call yesterday from her brother-in-law, and he told her that Anderson had been shot. Anderson had a lot of odd jobs, but was a painter by trade. She told me that he was great with his hands and even helped her stain her entire home. Banks told me if she had to describe Anderson in one word, it would be kind.
It's very tragic, and it's so evil. You know, the boy, he would have given you the shirt off his back. They didn't have to kill him. He would have handed them whatever they wanted, you know? He's just that type person.
Donna Anderson, Jerry's sister, told me that his best buddy was his brother Shane, who has Down syndrome and is mostly nonverbal. She told me when she had to tell Shane Jerry passed, he was very upset.
I told him that Short was gone to Jesus with his mama. He was mad at first, but he got okay after a few minutes.
The family told me they have no idea who would want to hurt Anderson. Marshall County investigators say they have a person of interest in custody on unrelated charges. They haven't released that person's name or what those unrelated charges are. They also haven't revealed what brought them to Anderson's home to begin with. WAFF will continue to ask questions and bring you the latest on the investigation. Reporting in Marshall County, Callie Neese, 48 News, on your side.
On Friday afternoon, the Marshall County Sheriff's Office stated that 28-year-old Rafael Camacho Jr. was charged with Anderson's murder. He was taken into custody on a gun-related charge of certain persons forbidden to possess a firearm. Camacho remains in custody with no bond and on a probation violation. He will be scheduled for an Anaya's Law hearing in the coming weeks. Staying in Marshall County, we have a 48 update surrounding a deadly crash that happened last week. We obtained the state troopers' report on the crash that left one Huntsville Public Works employee dead and 2 more in the hospital. Authorities said the Huntsville City SUV was traveling north on Highway 231 before it hit water in the road. That's when it crossed over the median before flipping and crashing into a tree. According to the crash report from the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, Public Works Director Chris McNeese was driving the speed limit, but he was driving too fast for the rainy conditions and he hydroplaned, causing the deadly wreck. Once the car crashed into the tree, Hank Hornbuckle, who wasn't wearing a seatbelt, was ejected from the vehicle. Michael Simmons works just a little down the road from the crash site, and he told 48 News that he was working at the time of the wreck and saw it. He said he sees wrecks all the time in the area when it rains.
It's awful. I mean, you don't know when there's going to be a car or truck come through the fences and into the building. You know, I mean, it's that bad.
Resident Reed Rainwater also noticed the many crashes in the area, so he started a petition pushing for a guardrail to be installed where his wife crashed a year ago. He wants to make sure other instances like this don't happen. Rainwater said there have been many accidents in the area caused by the flooding that happens over there. Rainwater wants to make sure no one else or their families have to grieve the loss of a life due to an accident on this road.
I love my city. I love this place where I've grown up, and I think we deserve to give the people of this city the best possible roads in order to be safe and to get to where we need to go without fearing that we're going to lose our life or become injured.
On Tuesday, friends and family gathered for Hank Hornbuckle's funeral. Hornbuckle's daughters previously told 48 News it's hard to know how they'll live every day without their dad. Huntsville Hospital confirmed to 48 News that the other passengers in the vehicle, Chris McNeese and Donnie Dowdy, have been released from the hospital. And we are learning new details about a few fake GoFundMes that were made for a widow after her husband was brutally murdered by a hatchet. She never received any of the money raised. The widow told 48 News she believes that there may have been more fake crowdfunding campaigns out there that may have been profiting off of her tragedy. 48's Callie Neese spoke with widow Kristen Couch, and she said at first she wasn't even thinking about starting a GoFundMe. Callie shares more from ARAB.
Kristen Couch told me shortly after her husband's murder, she received many calls from friends and family members telling her about GoFundMes that were made on her behalf. Kristen and her husband, Jacob Couch, were vacationing in Tucson, Arizona when her husband was attacked by a man with a hatchet. Since that attack in April, she has been struggling, but lots of people have been reaching out to her in many ways. That's why she was shocked when friends and family told her there may be some fake GoFundMes out there.
And it really is like a punch in the gut. I mean, this happened to us. Like, we're real people. My husband, I mean, he's a real person. Like, there's a person behind this, like, tragedy. And no one should be profiting off anybody's tragedy.
Couch told me she reported at least 2 GoFundMes and had them taken down. A spokesperson from GoFundMe told me that in rare cases that something is wrong with the GoFundMe, they will issue a full refund to donors. Couch adds that it is important to keep an eye on who you're donating to.
If there's a situation like this, I would definitely try to contact the person that it says it's going to, because it's happened so much.
Couch told me that she has started her own GoFundMe and she is listed as the organizer on that. She told me that the funds for that will go to help pay for medication, therapy, and getting her back on her own feet. For more information on that, visit our website, WAFF.com. Reporting in ARAB, Callie Neese, 48 News, on your side.
And from Gunnersville, Hydrofest is officially a thing of the past. Event organizers announced on Friday afternoon that the boat racing series will not be coming back to the lake next year. They said that support for the event has slowed down with few people from the area attending or sponsoring the races. Hydrofest has also seen a lot of bad weather in recent years. 2024 events were delayed by rain, and this year heat and wind on the lake canceled the main event. And coming up after the break, a sneak peek into stories coming up in our evening newscast, giving a look into some great events happening in the Huntsville and surrounding areas. All that and more when we come back. Hello everyone and welcome back to the 48 recap. A few stories to look out for coming up in our evening newscast. Auburn's basketball point guard Tatyana White was arrested and booked into the Lee County Jail at 3:46 a.m. this morning for driving under the influence. 19-year-old Pettiford was being held on a $1,000 bond. Auburn's basketball head coach Bruce Pearl released a statement following Pettiford's arrest saying, quote, "We are aware of the situation and we will handle it internally with Tahad and his family. We take these matters seriously and will learn and grow from it moving forward." And a Hartselle man was killed in a Decatur motorcycle wreck on Friday. Officers with the Decatur Police Department's Traffic Division were dispatched to Bird Springs Road Southwest in reference to a wreck with injuries. Authorities said upon arrival, officers located a single vehicle wreck involving a motorcycle. After further investigation, it was determined that the motorcyclist had lost control and left the roadway. The motorcyclist was identified as 59-year-old Thomas Foster Walker. He was pronounced dead on the scene. The wreck remains under investigation at this time. A Morgan County man was indicted on several child sex abuse charges, according to court records. 35-year-old Thomas Nathaniel Johnson was arrested and booked into the Morgan County Jail on Thursday for sexual abuse of a child less than 12 years old. According to court records, Johnson was arrested on 5 counts of child sex abuse. Court records show that a grand jury set Johnson's bond to $100,000, and he was ordered to have no contact with his alleged victims. Johnson has an arraignment set for September 22nd. Tune into our evening newscast to hear more details on these stories and many others. And if you're looking for a fun event to check out this weekend, you don't want to miss out on the Rocket City Summer Pickin' Market. The market started today at 9 a.m. and will go on until 4 p.m. It is a day full of shopping, snacking, and supporting local vendors. The market has amazing vendors both inside and outside, featuring everything from sustainable goods, handmade treasures, vintage finds, local produce, crafters, artists, pickers, growers, food trucks, and much more. It's the perfect way to shop small, support local, and enjoy some sweet southern summer vibes. There are over 150 vendors there, and there will be something there for everyone to enjoy. There is also going to be the Heart Shakers, a Tom Petty experience happening tonight at the BBC Mars Music Hall at 7 p.m. This will be a night full of live music, giving you all a fun Tom Petty experience. And I am personally so excited for this event. Tom Petty is from Gainesville, Florida, where I attended the University of Florida, and we have this really fun, cool tradition during our football games where after the third quarter ends, in honor of Tom Petty, we turn on our flashlights and we sway back and forth with our microphones and flashlights, and we sing Tom Petty's I Won't Back Down, and it's such a fun experience, such a fun way for us to hype up the team, and we even sing it sometimes at our graduation ceremonies. It's definitely a major tradition at UF, so I'm very, very excited about this. And also, Tom Petty was my 6th grade science teacher, her brother-in-law, so definitely a huge Tom Petty fan, and I'm very excited for this event, so definitely check it out if you can. Tickets are available to purchase at the VBC box office and online at Ticketmaster.com. And if you're looking to have a magical time this weekend, check out Doc Mental's Full Mental launch at the camp in Mid-City on Sunday at 6 p.m. This is a reoccurring event that will be happening every Sunday for this month. Nicholas Tweedy will be doing a variety of magic tricks and mentalist performances. He came into 48 News actually recently and did so many cool tricks. He did like a fire card trick, and he was like guessing our thoughts and everything. So it was definitely an experience. So I would highly recommend going to check him out one Sunday this month if you can, while he's in the Huntsville area. Tickets for this event can be purchased online for around $17 at ticketsignup.io/ticket-event/Mid-City-Magic-Man. And this weekend marks the 3rd annual Trade Day weekend in Huntsville, with a weekend of festivities for the whole community. Former Lee High School football standout, Colts receiver, and current star from the television series BMF, Chester Trey Rogers, hosts the event for his hometown annually. On Friday, he hosted an NFL Combine experience at Bob Jones High School, and today he is hosting the Trey Day Classic basketball game at Lee High School. The game started at 1, but it is going on until 5 this afternoon. And tomorrow, he is hosting a Pins for a Purpose charity bowling event at Stars and Strikes from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Trey says he hosts Trey Day weekend every year to give back to his community, especially the youth, and make them aware of opportunities that they can receive. You can check out more about Trey Day weekend as sports reporter Cam Durr spoke with him in a sit-down interview on WAFF.com under the sports tab. In an event coming up next Saturday is the Reflections of Fireside Chat with the Honorable Tony Coelho. This event is being hosted by the Disability Resource Network in honor of July being Disability Pride Month and commemorating 35 years since the Americans with Disabilities Act was signed into law. Tony Coelho is the primary author of the Americans with Disability Act. The event aims to raise awareness, funding, and support for people with disabilities in our community. I had the pleasure of sitting down with Disability Resource Network's Executive Director, Davina Patterson, and she shared more about what this event means for the community and how we can all be a part of the celebration.
The lead on that to offer a scholarship for people with disabilities in our service area. So we thought that this would be a great opportunity and a fundraiser to do that. So that's the plan. And also it will go toward our organization. We are a nonprofit, so just to go toward our cause, support our mission so that we can continue making an impact in the community.
Yes, this event is so important for our community and to raise awareness on all disabilities people may be facing. And proceeds from the event will be used to continue the mission of Disability Resource Network to promote independent living, as well as create scholarship opportunities for individuals in the service area with disabilities. The Fireside Chat fundraiser event takes place next Saturday, July 19th at the Alabama School of Cyber Technology and Engineering, with the social hour starting at 5 p.m. and the program beginning at 6:30 p.m. You can get tickets or learn more by visiting drn256.org/fundraiser. The full 48 Now interview is also available to watch at WAFF.com under the Digital Shows tab. And this is just a powerful way to support independent living and honor 35 years of the Americans with Disabilities Act. And there are just some great events happening in the city this weekend and the surrounding areas here in Huntsville, including a few events at Low Mill Arts and Entertainment and the Rocket City Rescue Adoption event happening from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. today at the Rocket City Dog Bar. So be sure to go check out some of these fun and amazing events happening in the area, and check out Huntsville.org's event tab and WeAreHuntsville.com's event calendar to check out more events happening this weekend. That's all I have today for the 48 recap. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to tune into 48's Weather Extra segments. Our meteorologists go live every Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. and every Saturday and Sunday at 8:15 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. And this is just another way to give you all extra insights on the latest weather forecast. Make sure to download our 48 apps and follow us on our Facebook and YouTube channels so you don't miss any updates on the weather. And if you would like to stay connected with me throughout the week, please be sure to follow my Facebook page at Tatyana White, WAFF 48. Take care, everyone. I will see you all back here next Saturday. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend.